Hello everyone, and welcome back to Resident Evil Zero. So, we have the clock arm, which means that either myself, Rebecca, or Billy can go back to the clock room, which is a room that we passed through that had the two bugs in it that we killed. But we can go back that way now, and we can solve the 815, but there's some other things that we still need to do. This statue here needs those two statues that we found, the devil statue and the angel statue, but both of the statues are not complete, so we have to complete them, which means that we have to get the devil's other wing and the angel's two wings, because the angel is missing their wings. So for now, what we're going to do is we're just going to come over here, back to the library, and try to see if we can unlock anything new now that we have a lighter fluid for Billy's lighter. This room was the only room in the library that I hadn't explored, and you can kind of see it on the map, um, but the door was locked. And so I was like, how do we get in here? How do we get in here? And the picture on the wall, the painting of the old man looking at us like we're dumb, is the way that you get into this room. You just basically follow his example. And his example is to light the scone, or the scone, scones? It's probably the word, scones, on the wall, and it will unlock the door. It looks like the researchers that were in the library, once the T virus broke out, tried to come in here to save themselves, but it was already too late. So, getting the angel wings out of our inventory, we're gonna drop our grenades, and then we're going to pick up the angel statue, combine it with the wings, and then drop the angel statue like a sack of potatoes. I feel like I could probably bring them up to the statue, but I want to have both of them complete before I do so. And I'm learning from the very first video or the second video where I was like, I could have taken both of these rings back to the briefcase, or one of them back to the briefcase, and then put it in. Well, this time I brought the wings back immediately, put it onto the angel statue because I did not leave it where it was in that room. And then, like I just did, dropped it like a hot potato onto the floor so that I can come back for it later because it's in the location where I need it. It's down the stairs from the statue, so that works. I'm kind of disappointed that Billy doesn't have more than just like the suit and tie, but I understand. They want him to be like cool and suave. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the nightwear costume that you can get in Resident Evil 5 for Chris, the costume pack. Sheva basically is wearing like club wear, and her hair is like a different color, and Chris is wearing this but like animal print, which is like really crazy. And I love going through the game where they're wearing those costumes because it just takes you out of the experience of the game. Is just so unserious.
Let's split up.
Okay.
As Billy, I'm going to go back to the clock room, which is right above the library. As far as I know, there's no enemies in there, thankfully, because that would really suck if they had included enemies. While I was trying to solve a puzzle, I probably would have died multiple times, but I'm glad that they don't. I think if you decide that you're going to do it as Rebecca, there's no real difference. Maybe you can just go back to the library and Billy will just lift her up on the elevator and then she'll just run straight to like the thing. Um, and that probably would have been the easiest way to do so. Thinking about it now, thinking about it way in the future. Another thing that I could have done differently.
This way.
Roger.
We're going to pick up the microfilm now, and I'm going to make my way to the one that's closest to us, to the training room that's closest to us. And then we're going to go to the other one that's down the hallway. I'm being really hesitant to go down the hallway because Billy is on caution, on yellow caution, and I don't want to get hit by another enemy and then he dies and then I have to do this all over again. So we're going to make our way. I went into the wrong room, but we're going to make our way to the training room and then go to the other one. And hopefully along the way, we'll find a green herb, which I know is in the bathroom.
You stay here.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Yeah.
I'll go.
Okay.
Let's go!
Okay.
So I'm not gonna lie, I did panic just like a little bit. These guys right here, um, there is a very short amount of time that you can run around them. And in the last video, when I was killed by them, I could have ran around it if I was going to go out the door, which would, I think, reset its position, and it wouldn't be able to go into the main hall anyway, because I think there's like an invisible barrier that's keeping enemies from that area, because that's your save room, your safe room. So thank you, Killicell. He commented in the last video about the official name for the enemies, and they're called Mimic Marcuses. I thought that they were called Crimson Heads because that's what I had been calling them, but subconsciously I was like, I don't think that that's the name because they don't look like the enemies in Resident Evil 1, the Crimson Heads that you run there. First off, they look like the Vine people, the Vine enemies from Resident Evil 2 remake. And secondly, they aren't wearing any clothes. So I was like, I don't think that they're Crimson Heads because the Crimson Heads in Resident Evil 1 are wearing clothes. But I'm not gonna look it up. And that's just been me for the last 20 years. Hmm. I think these are actually named something else. I'm not gonna look it up. I'm not gonna look it up. So thank you. Thank you so much. That's just, I'm now going to be calling them that for the rest of the playthrough.
You stay here.
Okay.
I think I'm choosing the wrong desk. So let's look at the microfilm image one more time. Yeah, I was choosing the wrong desk. Billy is standing in front of desk 4 and Rebecca is standing in front of desk E. So I need to go back up and then to the, I guess, right of the classroom and choose the third desk. And that should do it, I think.
Come on!
Yeah.
So, presence of blue orbs means I'm going to be encountering enemies that deal poison damage, which is always fun, but I'm not looking forward to it. But we are one step closer to completing this section, and then we should be able to get out of the training facility soon. There's just a couple more things that we have to do first. I think I pushed it in the wrong direction. So let's look at the board again. It's in checkmate according to Billy, or according to the game notes. It's in checkmate. So we got to move it over to the side, right behind the rook. So let's push it down again, once again, go down, and then to the right, and then up two. And that should hopefully not kill us, because this is probably a horrible, horrible trap if we do it wrong. If I'm remembering correctly, the progenitor virus was first created in like the 1950s, 1960s. They used the progenitor flower that they found in the cave in Africa, studied it there because when they brought it out of the cave, it would wilt and die. So they just studied it there in the environment in which it was living and created this virus. And then from there, I think Spencer started the Project W
Let's regroup.
program using the progenitor virus. And then they start the umbrella company, I think by like 1964, maybe 1970. I don't remember exactly because the Resident Evil like timeline, the lore and everything connected with Resident Evil is so confusing sometimes, because I think the developers, when they first started doing this game, they didn't expect it to be so popular as it was. So the lore that they had for the games was really like self-contained. I forgot to grab the green chemical that was in this room, so we had to turn around to get it. But now we can continue back down to the first floor and grab the statues. Running straight past these spiders, we're going to make our way to the save room, and then we're going to do some item management, and then I'm going to save, and then that's it, because I'm not mentally prepared to deal with gigantic car-sized tarantulas that spit venom, which is the reason why they gave us these blue herbs in the first place. So we're going to unpack all of this in the next video, and I'm going to let the rest of this play through. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you're enjoying this walkthrough, or rather not a walkthrough, a let's play of Resident Evil Zero. Like I said in the very first video, it's been ages upon ages since I played this, so it's slowly coming back to me. But I'm not, like a professional speedrunner, and I'm not a professional, like 100%er. I'm gonna get what I can, and I'm gonna go, because I do not want to stay around, especially given that we spent like an entire 2 videos with Billy on caution. That's how bad I am at this game. So I hope that you all have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.